What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Black Belt Barber podcast, the first podcast that talks about entrepreneurship for barber. It doesn't matter if you're a barbershop owner, if you're a beginner, if you're apprentice, you just finished barbering school, or if you rent a chair, or if you rent a suite, or if you work for commission as a commission with commission. Your trade is your business. That's why I always say it's talk about entrepreneurship for barbers. This podcast is sponsored by Invictus Podcast Studios, and today we are going to share the biggest mistake we made when we opened our barbershop. I had the mind shop of a barber, but how to do that transition? When I was doing that transition, because I was a barber, and now I have a shop. I'm not just a barber behind the chair. I am a business owner. What to do? What happened when I opened the shop? So many mistakes, and now I don't want you to make the same mistakes. So here I'm gonna share 6 things that will help you think about it and implement, so you don't make the
The
same
same
mistakes,
mistakes.
right?
Yeah. I think it's important to share how many things we did wrong, so people can know
No
not
longer, no longer do the same.
not no don't do the same because they cost us money, they cost us losing people, they cost us our emotions, and we wasted time trying to fix afterwards. So
But at least we had the mindset, or a growth mindset, meaning that we are open to learn new things. We are open to connect with people. We are open to invest the money and time into our mind.
yeah,
But
but I wish someone have taught me how not
this,
to do it, so we wouldn't do the same mistakes that we did. You want to share the first one?
yes, but before moving on, I want to share that if you are a barber and you work for someone or you rent a chair, right now you don't have to think all the other things that is happening around you. So the barbershops will be running, right? So you don't see all the expenses, you don't see the hiring part, you don't see what's going on behind the curtains. So now we're gonna share here things that it really hurts us. I don't want this hurt you. The first one is having the mindset of a barber and not the mindset of a business owner. That transition is pretty harmful when you're not open to learn. Even if you are open to learn, there's a long road, and sometimes you have to go through stuff, through things that so you can have more experience of that, right?
Yeah, so being a barber behind the chair, when you work by commission or if you rent a chair, you have no idea about all the other things you need to do when you become a business owner. It's not anymore just about you and getting clients in and, receiving your money and leaving. There's other things you have to do. Build a business, deal with business license, taxes. You may need an accountant to help you with that. There's all these legal stuff that you have to be aware, and then you have to hire people, and then or either rent a chair if that's the case. In our situation, we work with commission, not with not renting chair. So you have to provide an environment that team is happy working there, and you have to provide the structure, the clients. There's so many things involved. Which products will be
So need to be
available to
available
be
there.
used? You have a shampoo station, you have to worry about the shampoo, you have to worry about the towels, you have to worry about how clients book an appointment, what happen if they miss their appointment. There's so many things involved. You have to worry about the marketing, you have to control the expenses, you have to pay the bills, you have to clean, organize. There's so many things involved.
Now you're not a barber. Now you are
A business
a
owner.
business owner and you're a leader.
Exactly.
You're a leader. Now you have to think for your whole team. Now you need to prepare yourself and learn things that you're gonna guide your team, and it will be a win-win. So
Exactly.
everybody will win, but it's so hard to make or not impose, make these people understand, make the whoever work with you understand that that is the path and that is the goal. So many people doesn't understand because they don't want to go through the hardship, right? Through the difficult moments and hard work. And you have to tell them what to do, and sometimes they will not understand because there it is your dream, not their dream,
Most
right?
importantly, you have to inspire them, right?
Inspiring, guide them.
Otherwise, you won't be able to achieve anything. If you have a vision for your business and the people that are working with you don't share the same vision, it's almost impossible to achieve anything. And I think in your situation, when you became a business owner, it took a while for this to click that you're no longer just a barber. You're more than that. Now you have more roles, more responsibilities. And I think both of us were not prepared for all those responsibilities.
It took me almost a year and a half to click it and change my mindset that I was thinking like I'm not just a barber and I can't treat my guys like a friend or like anybody else. I had to treat them like how do I say that? Like people that work with me, and then I have a goal, and if I put everybody in the same boat, make them understand that will be beneficial for everybody. So that was the very hard for me to click. And the way I used to my actions. So I used to play a lot. I used to do things that owner and the leader shouldn't be doing it. So I learned that in a hard way, you know.
Yes, because when you switch the position from employee or self-employed or whatever you want to call, and then you become the leader, it's everything you do, everything you say has a different weight. Because when you're just playing with the other barber and both of you rent a chair in a barber shop, you were co-workers, you're friends. But then when the owner comes and say the same thing,
It doesn't sound the same. It sounds different.
it sounds different. So I think we had to adjust a lot of our
Everything you do
actions.
and everything you say and everything you post on social media, all your actions are being judged by people, being judged
Yeah.
by your clients, being judged by your coworkers, your collaborators.
They'll
So
be thinking something about you based on what you say, what you
mhm,
post, your attitude. Yep.
it will make a huge impact in everything you do.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I forgot what I was saying.
Yeah. I
Again,
think this transition, I didn't do the transition because I wasn't a barber, but I became a business owner. And definitely we had a lot of hardships to adapt to this new role. I think it might be similar. I'm not a parent, so we don't have kids, but it might be similar when we become a father or a mother. Then you realize the responsibility you have to set the good example for your kids and then to adjust to this new role, because now you have a kid that is looking at everything you're doing and saying and repeating whatever you're doing and saying. I think it could be compared in a way to becoming a role model for someone. In that case, is the child. In our case, is the people that joined the team
hmm
to work with us.
the good example is imagine the nanny. She's taking care of your kid. She doesn't have all that responsibility that you have,
Yeah.
right? And then once you are a parent, you do have all those other responsibilities that nobody could take it over.
Yes, at the end, the biggest responsibility is
Is yours.
yours because you're the owner. Your name is there. If that thing goes bad, it's your name.
Actually, I want to talk about that because if your barbershop owner and something is happening right now in your shop, something with your team, any problem that you are in now is because it is your responsibility. Once you change your mindset and take ownership of everything that's happening in your barbershop, everything will start changing for good, for better, right?
Yeah, we can't blame our team because at the end, if you're the owner, you were the one hiring those people. You're the one training them or not training them. You're the one that should or shouldn't fire the person and say, hey, this is not working, or put limits in your team and healthy limits. And if you're not doing it, you can't blame everybody else. When you become a business owner, is a lot about ownership. Everybody should have this ownership about your actions and your results. But when you become a business owner, is much stronger that everything that is happening is a reflection of your leadership or your lack of leadership.
And if you think about it, there's no one above you
Yeah.
on the hierarchy.
Yeah,
Hierarchy, right?
when you become an owner.
There's no one above you. You can't run up to someone and ask for help, meaning that your boss or a CEO or the president of whatever. You don't have the manager that you can call up and, hey, I need more clients. I can't pay the bill because you
Yeah.
can't. You're not going to have answers for anybody. You are the
Yep.
one responsible for
For
everything.
everything, and if at the end of the month you don't have the money to pay the bills, you gotta do something about it. You don't have anybody to
And
ask for help.
nobody will do it for you. And most of the time, you can't count, you can't put your all expectation in people because
Exactly.
people will let you down. I'm not trying to be negative because it's just people, people makes mistakes. People, I don't put all my expectation in one box anymore. It's because you're gonna lose yourself.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
true. And your team, they're not responsible for your mistakes, right? If you don't manage well your business and if you're failing, I mean, those people have nothing to do. You chose to be a business owner.
no one push you.
No one told you you have to be a business owner. You made a decision. And with the decisions, it comes the responsibility and it comes everything that you have to do to be good doing that. So I think our one of the first mistake was not uh, it was not doing that transition faster, I think.
One time once that clicks that in my mind that I had to do this change my mindset was one. Tons of things was happening at the barbershop. I was losing barbers. The finances wasn't well. Uh, we were like in a mess, and then we came to talk to someone, ask for help. A mentor, it actually she, and we were explaining to her, oh, these people, it's hard to deal with people. We are so negative, and we were like very unhappy with the situation. And then she made us think. She said, the problem might not be them, the problem might not be the finances. Why don't you think about yourself? The problem might be you guys. You guys should have more knowledge in how to deal with that, or how to deal with all your emotions and learn how to deal with that, and creating this strategy so that can't happen anymore. So that when at first I got mad, right? I got mad with myself. I got mad with her, but I didn't say anything. But then I think, yes, everything that is happening is because of our lack of what? Or doesn't have enough knowledge and information to treat that situation.
Mm-hmm.
But now looking back, that problem that was before, that problem level was number 10, but this problem, if it happens again, is number 1.
Yeah.
I just fix it right away
We
because I
learned
learned.
how to deal with it, right?
But that's the mindset of a business owner, not a barber anymore, because the barber's finish his shift 8 to 5 or 9 to 7, whatever. He's go home. He's going to do his own thing. Man, if one pipe breaks in your barbershop at 2 in the morning, you are the one that's going to have to be there.
Yeah.
Nobody will be there for you. So
Yep. How many times we have alarm system and then
5 in the morning,
5
4
in
in
the
the morning.
morning? Thanks God nothing bad happened, but for whatever reason it triggered the alarm and then I was the one waking up because they were calling, or any issues. We had issues with mold, so there was a leak. At the end, we're the one dealing with the whole situation.
You know what happened too is it's not the barber's responsibility to do all that. It's your responsibility. I remember when we opened the shop, we are the ones that used to do everything ourselves. We used to clean, answer the phone, clean the shop, clean the bathroom, do everything,
Marketing.
marketing, take the pictures, organic. We need to post it, editing, the video, everything. We need to do everything, me and my wife. So at the end of the night, after 8:30 p.m., we close the shop, and the barbers, those 2 barbers, they still with the oldest, they are still with us, and they used to ask, guys, do you need help? Luis and Dari, do you need help? So you guys can,
Cleaning,
I can
right?
see
They
you guys
always
so tired.
offered.
It's always offered us, and we say that's our responsibility,
Not yours.
not
You're
yours.
not supposed to be cleaning the shop with
Hmm.
us here until 11 p.m.
Yes.
You're a barber. You're supposed to clean your station, your chair, everything else. It's not your responsibility.
And even if a client complains about a bad haircut from a barber, you are the one that responsible for the training. You are the one that responsible to make that barber good,
To help them,
to
right?
help them and guide them.
Yep.
If your barber is doing a bad haircut, your responsibility to train them.
Yep, to help him develop his
Develop
skills
his
and not
skills.
blame, oh, this barber
Yep.
is terrible. But
Don't
in the
curse.
first place, who hired that barber? And then what you're going to do about it? People were not born ready. They need an opportunity. If you help them.
And people are not disposable. You can train them, and that person can become one of the best barber in your barbershop, right?
Yes.
And he's gonna be really grateful for what you have done for them and appreciate for what
Mm-hmm.
you have done for them. So number two, we did biggest mistake in
Which one?
our barbershop. We start paying a huge commission for commission percentage. Thank barbers would working for us. Huge commission we are paying. We start paying what, babe?
70%.
I knew I just want to ask. We start paying our barbers that tremendous commission, but once you become a barbershop owner, you have all these overhead costs, utilities, rent. You have to do the marketing, clean,
Insurance.
insurance, product, and all that stuff. At the end of the day, you're not staying with 30% anymore. Let's say you're paying 70% and you're staying with a percentage of 30, you'll be with what, 6%, 5%, right?
It depends. So
Depend.
what happened was Tico had this amazing idea that if he paid more than other shops in the area were paying, he would have more barbers wanting to work. He was just opening the shop. And we're really afraid, where are we going to find barbers? What do we do to attract them to work for us? And then Tico had the idea, let's
Let's
pay
pay
70%.
70%. And guess what happened?
And then I didn't know much about the industry. I didn't do a research. I didn't know about finances like I know now, almost 6 years later. Then we hired them. And then what happened?
What
A few
happened?
months later.
Few months later, we went to a seminar from Paul Mitchell.
No,
No, it was
before
before?
that.
Was
So what
before?
happened was we were doing the math and the numbers were not, every month we were negative. Like it's not working. We need to do something
If we
about
keep doing
it.
that, we'll be closing the doors.
Exactly. We wouldn't have a barber shop. So we were scratching our heads like, oh my God, we offered them 70%. What are we going to do now? It's not sustainable.
It's
It's not going to,
impossible to survive.
it doesn't work. And then we were trying to find a way to change that situation. And what happened is we did change the situation to pay them a lower percentage. And barbers watching, don't take us wrong, like, oh no, we deserve the 70%. We're not discussing here if you deserve or not. We're discussing that at a business point of view, it's not sustainable. There's no business that can survive paying 70% to the barbers, because then you don't have the money to reinvest in the business or to provide the whole structure you need to work there, such as having someone to clean the shop. Would you rather you clean every night before you go home? No, it's not your job. You're just a barber. But then the business owner won't have the money to do marketing. He won't have the money to provide you a clean, beautiful, organized environment, take care whenever something breaks, do upgrades and updates, and especially marketing, right? Marketing is expensive to help attract new clients to your chair.
So you don't be sitting over there all day not serving any clients.
License, insurance, the accountant. There's a lot of things that barbers don't realize that the owner has to pay for it. And to pay for it, we need money. So we're not discussing like, is it you deserve or you don't deserve. We're discussing that A business won't be profitable and won't grow if the barbers receive 70% commission. Then we went to the Paul Mitchell
But
seminar.
before there, since we're not discussing that, like my wife is saying, I want to give a great example of myself. I was a barber working for someone since my whole life, right? And before I opened Invictus for 15 years, I had the point of view of a barber. And I always look at, okay, if every barbershop is paying the barber 70%, why I'm not receiving 70%? I want to work at the barbershop that's receiving 70%, right? So I was thinking, I was right. I wasn't wrong.
Hmm.
But for the business owner, is not lucrative. Lucrative?
Profitable.
Not profitable.
Hmm.
So that's what we're trying to say here. It's not because you don't deserve. I've been on the other side, and now I'm in a position of a business owner. Now I can see both sides, and I can understand both.
Yeah. And then when we had to change the percentage, then we lost the whole staff. Only two stayed with us. Everybody else left. Why? Because, of course, if you're offered a certain amount and then the owner changed his mind and now, no, sorry, I can't pay you that, I completely understand why they left. I would leave too. Most of the time, people leave if you say, hey, sorry, I can't pay you the 70%
If
because
you
it was our fault,
if,
our
if you
mistake.
propose something, you're gonna have to stick with it, right?
Exactly.
Otherwise, you lose your people.
You can change your word. You had an agreement with them, and even if you try to explain, they won't understand. Hey, sorry, you're paying me, you want to pay me less? No, 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 that's not the deal we had. So we lost the whole staff. It was a big mistake. And then we learned that paying more, it doesn't mean you have people working with you for you. So it was a big mistake.
So you went to the seminar. You wanna
Oh yeah, we went to the Paul Mitchell seminar, and then we learned that, you know, this this high percentage, that's not how we should be paying if you work by commission. And the percentage actually can change. There is not a fixed amount, but you have to do the whole math based on your business and based on your business structure, your overhead costs. You have to do the math. How many chairs I have, how many barbers, how much each barber will be producing, how many expenses I have. Do you offer a person in the front desk or no? Because this adds to the overhead costs.
do you offer marketing people, a
You offer
marketing
a marketing
strategy?
company that will do the marketing for the business. How much will cost the insurance, the accountant? Do you need? Do you have a company cleaning your shop? Everything will add up to these overhead costs, and that's how you can figure it out, the commission that works and how much you're giving back to your team in the sense of having an,
Yes.
a,
If
a place where they can, um, when they arrive, the
a
shop is in
nice
perfect
environment,
conditions. You're providing clients, you're helping them book the appointments, you have someone answering the phone and taking the appointments. So you got to evaluate what you're giving back to your team as well.
yes, not just only paying them or receiving a certain amount of percentage of that money, and don't reinvest in your shop and is exploring people too. Exploring,
Exploiting.
exploiting people, and let your shop falling apart, and you just put that money in your pocket and spending in anything irrelevant. So you need to, as a business owner, you need to look at that way, right?
Yeah, and always reinvest in your business, invest in your team, help them with training. That's what you should be doing when you become a business owner. It's not just about yourself, because to get anywhere, you need people. You won't go anywhere alone, and you need good people by your side. And good people, they want to be around the best. So to attract the best team, the best people to work by your side, you got to be the best leader too, and you have to invest in them and help them and guide them.
And sometimes the business owner are so negative or so like smashed from people, and then you got negative, you don't believe in people anymore. But that's the thing, you need to change those people there around you, because there's only people who help you to take you there, you know, to be successful. Everybody will be joy having I forgot having it's a win-win for everybody, but you have to find the right people. That's what I meant.
Okay.
And I understand one thing: barbershop aren't built for most of barbershop aren't built for from entrepreneurs and investors and people that they are thinking like a business owner, right? Barbershop are built. The culture was built because one day a barber thought about opening up a barbershop, and barbers it doesn't have this entrepreneur or business person mindset, and then it creates this whole culture. We didn't when I start at when we start the barbershop, I didn't make all this calculation and how much it would be paying the barbers, how much it would be the profit, my breaking even point, or how much I'll have to spend in marketing to bring a client. So that's what do you have to say about that?
Yeah, I would say that most barber shops are owned by barbers, and barbers are more artists. They're not really into Excel spreadsheets to do the math, and they don't have previous knowledge on that, and that's why they fail sometimes, because then they have a dream, they they want to have their own shop, which is wonderful, but then they realize that it's not just about being good cutting hair. There's a lot of other skills you should develop on the road, and the only way to develop them is through living the process, like being going through the process, and then you'll be learning and have an open mindset to learn and seek for guidance, ask for help. We always seek for help. We always had consultants, we always had mentors, people that can teach us the skills we don't have or we didn't have.
There's always someone out there to help you. You know,
Exactly.
if you're going through a problem right now, there's always a barbershop owner that been through that same problem, did the same mistake, but now he knows, you know, where to find these people.
Yeah,
Where?
but not only barbershop owners, you can
Yeah.
see guidance. So if you're having an issue with marketing, find someone good with marketing. If you're having a problem with your team, find someone that can help you with team building, building the right culture for your shop. So seek guidance, ask for help, go to seminars, find consultants, get help, because there's people that are specialized in
w-
that issue that you're having.
we are only good in what we do. Let's say I'm a barber and I'm an artist. I'm good at cutting hair. Of course, now I'm a business owner. I need to understand a little bit about leadership, marketing, a little bit of finances, but I'm good at what I do. If I can't pay someone, I'm gonna have to learn how to do it. But if you can pay someone is even better. My wife does everything, so
He's not paying me, by the way.
I'm not paying you well, babe.
You're
One
gonna pay me more.
one of the biggest mistake we have done, we were thinking that we would find a skilled barber with a high skills, with a full clientele book to work for us. That was the biggest mistake we ever done. Because imagine, and if you're a barber and you a book, you're solid book at a barber shop, you won't leave to go anywhere else. There's reasons that you make you leave, but what is the percentage? What is the chance you leave that shop that you're making money? You're happy there. So that was my biggest mistake. I couldn't find barbers. Then I start training my own. So from nothing, from zero. So and thinking the other way, I was training them from zero, but at the end of the day, I was helping someone to have a profession, to have a career. So that's what I do nowadays, right? We
Yeah,
train.
it
It,
ended up becoming a passion and something we really love doing. But in the beginning, was not that beautiful because we're looking for barbers and we wanted them to be ready. Like, I want the best barbers, and they should have a big clientele because then it's gonna help our business grow. And then we realized that that wasn't the case. It's rare to find a skilled barber with a big clientele that is going to leave the place where they are. They're usually happy where they are, or they are already doing their own thing. They don't want to work for a business that's just starting, like what is the in their mind, why I would leave to go to a barber shop that is, just starting. I already have my clientele. I'm happy here. And
But training someone from scratch, from nothing, is a hustle.
yeah, it
It's a
takes
lots of
time.
work. It's not easy. It takes time to prepare that person to work within your vision, within the culture that you want to create. So it's very hard. Very, you put a lots of energy, but at the end of the day, it's worth. It's worth.
Yeah, since you can't find the barber ready, and if you think for a minute, you were not ready when you started. You just needed an opportunity, someone that would give you the opportunity and help you develop your skills.
And give you the support
When you
that
got
you
your
need.
first job, whatever it was, did you know how to do what you're supposed to do? No. It was your first experience, was your first time working, and then you had someone that gave you the opportunity and said, "You know what? Come, I'll train you. I'll teach you what you have to do." And then you learned. And it happened to me. I learned how to sell granite. I learned about countertops because someone had the patience and said, "You know what? I'll give you the opportunity. You just got to be willing to learn." And I learned. And the same thing with barbers. You won't find the barbers ready with a big clientele just coming to you. But if you help people to become good barbers, then you have the right mindset.
You have the right mindsets. So number 4, you want to move on?
Yeah.
Hiring barbers that did not fit the barber shop culture and vision. Wow, that's deep. Because first of all, you need to have a vision, you need to have a purpose, you need to have a cause. Once you understand that, you know, of course, there's some questions you have to make for the interview, but you know what kind of people you are willing to hire to work for you. Because right away, if you know the culture you want to create, if you know your vision already, where you want to go, once you are interviewing someone, you will understand that person is not for me. That person is not going to fit my culture. And if you hire that person, you're making a big mistake because you're going to be losing lots of time and energy. And 3 months after, that person is not with you anymore. And if you don't learn from that mistake, what's gonna happen? You're gonna do it all over again.
Yeah. You'll be hiring the people that it won't work. The partnership won't work. You have to know what you want, and when you interview someone, identify if that person would fit that culture. Otherwise, it won't work, and you'll be upset, and the person will be upset. It's a waste of everybody's time and energy. So it's okay to make a mistake once, but don't keep making the same mistake over and over and over again. Learn from your mistakes and learn to identify the people that would fit your barbershop culture, that would be a good addition to your team. For instance, for us, we care a lot about how this new person will be um, will be getting along with the rest of the team, right? It's very important for us that we have a team that works as a team, that have this teamwork, very strong mindset, that they're not there just for themselves, that we have a team, we're a group, and we help each other. So if you see that, let's say in our case, teamwork is very important. And then this person is more like, you know what? I like to do things by myself. I don't really get along with people. Then don't hire that person. Like, it's not going to work.
Do you have any tip that you can give to them while they're hiring
Look more
barbers?
for soft skills better than hard skills. So hard skills would be know how to cut hair, know how to do a great fade. And then soft skills, it has to do more with their teamwork, their flexibility, their communication skills. This is
Teachable,
coachable.
coachable, teachable, coachable, communicative.
Yeah, so watch more for those things than the hard skills, which would be cutting hair, because cutting hair you can teach. You can definitely do a training and help that person. Hey, I notice your fades are not that good. Come here, let's spend an afternoon here together. Bring two models, I'll show you how I do it. That's the easy part. But
But you
then,
can't teach personality or character.
correct, then you cannot change the person behavior. Most of their behaviors you won't change. So watch for that more than the hard skills.
Based on the culture you want to create, list a few questions that you want to ask that person, and based in what he's going to answer, we raise some red flags or not. And based on that, you
Yeah.
choose if that person's gonna fit.
For
You know,
example, if you ask the person like where did they work before, if you see that the person keeps jumping from shop to shop, and then you ask why did you leave that shop? Oh, because the owner was an asshole. And then why did you leave the other shop? Oh, because my coworker was stealing my clients. So if you notice a pattern that this person is always blaming other people for their failures, then it's a red
yeah.
flag.
If you don't want that person in your shop, you can't hire that type of person, right?
Yeah, it wouldn't be a good fit because then the same thing he did with the other shop owners, the other shop where he worked, he's gonna do to you as well. So it's not a good idea. So there are some things you can ask and try to understand that person. What are their goals, their vision? What do you want for yourself? Where do you see yourself 2 years from now? What's your dreams for your professional life?
What are you expecting from us? That's a really good question
Yes,
too,
exactly.
because he needs to understand your expectation, but also you need to learn his
Espe-
understand his expectations,
for
right?
sure. What he's expecting from the
From you,
shop,
from the shop.
and then what you're expecting from him. So this communication will help you not do this mistake that we did where we hired a lot of people. And also think about this way. Um, it's not good for the barber if he keeps jumping from shop to shop. But as a business owner, it's horrible for you too when you have staff, when you have a high turnover where people don't stay in
It's
your
come and go.
company, because then the clients start noticing, hey, you know, 1 week the barber is here, the next week is someone else, and then the next month you have another barber. It's so bad for everybody. But if you do the hiring the right way, trying to understand that person and see if he fits in the culture you're building for your business, then will be win-win for both.
But I noticed there's a huge turnover in the beauty industry itself.
Yeah.
A huge turnover. Would you have to have something to say about it?
Yes, usually in this industry, people don't build careers where they stay 10 years in the same place. It's very rare. It happens, of course, it does. But it's very rare that you go to a shop and then all barbers are there for the last 10
10 years,
years.
yeah.
There's this turnover where I would say 2, 3 years barbers stay in the place and then they are ready to move to another place, either because they're unhappy or because they're looking for something else and that shop no longer provide what they want. So yeah, it happens a lot.
One huge mistake I did it wasn't you. I did it as a barber. You didn't list here.
Which one?
Look at this one. When I first opened the barber shop, I wasn't a business owner. I was just a barber cutting hair, and I didn't understand much about businesses. And since I need barbers so much to pay the bills, meaning that I needed a team to work towards one goal, so everybody's a win-win. And I tried to hire people from, was our first month. I was trying to hire people from other barbershop, and that's terrible. That's not, what's the word? That's not,
Unethical.
that's unethical.
Don't do that.
If you are a barber and you call other barber in a barber shop, you might not understand how much that hurts the owner. But if you're a business owner and you do that with another business owner, that's unfair because you know how much it hurts if you have one chair empty,
Yes.
right?
Yes, that was a big mistake. For sure. I regret. And I remember that in the early beginnings of Invictus that I mentioned to you, hey Tico, this is not
This
right.
is not right.
Don't try to solicit barbers from other shops.
And I'm so ashamed. And now I understand the pain of a business owner. And I will never do that again. I will never do that in my life. And if I can't help, like I teach the guys from scratch, I kind of like recommend my students to go to the barbershop that they need. Go check them out. Check if it's that is the place that you want to work. I indicated how I refer them to barbershop around us.
Yes. So we noticed that it's very common, right? Not everybody do, but it's common in our industry that barber shops start recruiting barbers from the next door or in that area, recruiting the barbers. And usually they try to recruit your best ones because, of course, they want a barber that is skilled, that has a clientele. And this hurts the whole industry. I don't think this is correct to do it because if other people do it to you, how would you feel, that they are recruiting your barbers and then they are making crazy offers like, oh, how much they pay you there? Oh, no, come and work for me. I'll pay you more. Or you can be the manager here. This is not a nice thing to do. And then we learned that the best way was actually to train people, look for the soft skills, look for their character, look for their heart, who they are as a person, and give them an opportunity. It takes time, yes, it takes energy, but it's so good to be part of someone's development, of someone, that just left school and didn't have enough practice, and then they are not good barbers yet, and then you're there and help that person become a good barber. There's no money that can pay.
But sometimes the barbershop owner is so tired of hiring people and train them, and then they go after 2 to 6 months. They just leave the shop and you train them from nothing. Don't be that like that. All you need to do is hire the right person. Then you won't lose that person.
Yes,
You know,
and be the right leader,
and be the right
because
leader.
I was seeing a video and then the person said employees, they don't leave your business, so they won't leave your barber shop, they leave leaders. Because I've seen people that they don't get paid really well, but they just love the person that is their leader, that they stay.
They
They
stay.
So
Hmm.
be a good leader and people will want to be by your side. They will be happy to be by your side.
And 99% of the time it's not about the money.
Mm-hmm.
Once I think it's gonna be here somewhere,
Yep.
right? Okay.
It's the next one
It's the next one.
after.
Um, insisting in helping barbers, that's one of the biggest mistake with the insisting in helping barbers that did not want to change and grow. uh, it created conflicts, right? So I did that for many many years, and then I have learned that in a hard way, because I believe that each barber, each person has your own time. You has We live in a cycles in our lives, and if that person live in that cycle, it's very hard you to show that person what is good for them or not. You can tell, you can try, but you can't push, because that's not their time. That might be yours, and happen with us, with many of our barbers. We are trying to push too much so they could do the things that we are doing, living the things that we are living, and uh, get the results we are getting. And but they felt like pressured. They felt like we were micromanaged. But no, we want is to put in. Let's go to this workshop. Let's train. Let's do this on the weekend. Who wants to go to the barbershop train on the weekends?
Yeah.
You're gonna look. You was a the Your words as a business owner. It's very hard so they can hear you as a business owner, because anything you say, it creates a huge impact, right?
Yeah,
It sounds
sometimes,
different.
and not everybody is in the same time of their life like you are. So if you started the business, you probably really want to make it successful. So you have energy, you work on weekends, but it doesn't mean your team has to do the same. And we put a lot of energy trying to insist in people. And then we became annoying to them because we're trying to push them to do something they didn't want. It's the same thing like if I'm on a diet and then I want you to be on the diet too. Like it's my choice to be on the diet. I want to have a healthy lifestyle, I want to eat healthy, but it doesn't mean you want. So I can force you. And then we end up putting two.
We became the bad ones.
Yeah, because we were
Yeah.
trying to make them do things they didn't want. So now we learn that if the person is ready and wants, that change, that growth, will be there for them. We'll help them in any way we can. We'll support them. But if we notice they do not want, that's fine. Don't force anybody. Just leave. It's not their time yet, and that's fine.
And everybody has your own time to do your things when you wake up. It took me 15 years to wake up.
Yeah.
And now I don't even feel that I have uh, Sundays and days off and holidays and vacation. For me, Sundays, holidays are holidays. If I have to do a meeting or work or training or train one of my barbers, I don't care. For me, it's a normal day.
Hmm.
But for your guys, for your collaborators, it's not the same. They don't want to be there on Sunday. They don't want to,
Yes.
you can't push. But
They have other priorities that are not the same as yours, so they want their day off to be with their family, and that's fine. Or they want to go to church, or they want to, have a barbecue with their friends, and that's fine. Don't push them. Don't try
but
to.
also you notice too, they will come up to you and ask for help if they really want.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah, they'll
you
be
don't have a
willing.
crystal ball too. So, you
Yes.
know,
And don't force people if it's not their time, and don't insist in something they do not want for them.
they're gonna look at you like someone that want to just bother them.
Yeah. And then they might think, oh, of course you want me to come to this training on Sunday because then I'll be making more money for you, instead of seeing that he's also being benefited from that, because then if he or she has better skills, they'll have more clients, they'll make more money. But don't force people to do things that you think it's good for them. They have
Yes.
to want, and then if they want, be available, be there for them. But don't.
Let they do the things they want to do on their own time,
Exactly.
right? And be there for them whenever they need.
Mm-hmm.
Number 6, that's the last one. Huge mistake we made it. Think that just a good salary would be enough to keep my team happy. It's not enough. Be flexible because my people, lots of people aren't moved just because of the money, right?
Yes,
And,
most people would say
but
that money.
but first, they might start working at you at first because of the money, because of the environment, whatever you said, whatever you offered. But to keep them there, it's not the money's gonna keep them there, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, most people would say, "Oh, what would make you change from one job to another? Salary." But that's not true. There's other things. One thing is emotional security. So they have to feel secure at that place. They have to
Feel
admire the
and
leader,
feel in progress.
feel that they're having progress. Exactly. Because when you feel that you're stuck, that there is no room for you to grow,
You
then you're
might
going to
looking for
start looking for another opportunity to grow. Um, as a leader, always deliver what you promised. Don't make false promises, because people are not stupid. Don't tell them you're going to do something and then don't do it. Don't promise this benefit, this salary, this whatever, this title, as like you're going to be the manager, and then don't deliver, because then people will notice and they will leave. They won't stay with you.
one recommendation for barbershop owners is try to understand each barber's uh, dreams. What are their dreams? Where they want to go? What they want to achieve in life? So learning there, understand that you can work yourself around and trying to make that happen and help them to make that happen. Because so many people say, "Oh, I need more money," but that's not about the money. They might need more time with their family. Give them another day
Yes.
off. You
Yes.
know,
Be flexible
be
to
flexible.
adjust to each person in your team as much as possible. Of course, you can't do everything everybody wants, but try to be flexible and understand that people are not your property. Like, you don't own them. Oh, they have to to stick with me by my side. No, people change, people have new priorities in life.
Some people have beliefs.
And make sure that during the time that you work together, it was a very pleasant experience for both, for you and for the person working with you, and help that person achieve their dreams while working for you, with you, because they have dreams. They might want to buy a house or they might want to start their own business. So it instead of thinking that no, this person has to stay here and can't leave, help that person achieve that dream. Why not? If they want to become a business owner, one day you decided to become a business owner, why that person can't? So help them, guide them, and then will be very rewarding for both. That person will be forever grateful that you helped, that you supported, and you be happy because that person worked by your side for whatever years, and it was a very good relationship, a very good partnership. So just help people develop their skills, be part of their
People
growth.
people has feelings. People, they are not a machine. And also, if you, I had a few barbers complaining that if they tell the barbershop owner that they want to build a barbershop, they want to have on a barbershop, the barbershop owner, what they're gonna do next is gonna fire them.
Yes.
So that's pretty common in our industry, but
It
here
shouldn't be that
it
way,
shouldn't
right?
be that way. As an experience that we have, we are up to, if someone, one of my barbers come to me, if they want to open a barbershop, I'm gonna guide them through. I'm gonna guide them. I'm gonna help them to open up their own shop. Of course, why not? This, we had that dream as a barber.
Yeah. And then you can guide and prepare and, give tips and say, hey, listen, don't go this route. I did it and it didn't work. Maybe it's not the best way to do it. And then if there is this trust, the person won't do behind your back. They're going to
Amazing.
come to you and say, hey, listen, I have this dream. I want to do this. So I think I'm going to stay here, let's say 6 months or 1 year, but that's my goal. And then he won't do things in your
Behind your
back,
back.
or he won't try to hide what he's doing. He's going to have an open conversation. So be open to listen, because they're not your property. They're not supposed to be there forever by your side.
Once you do that and they're not gonna talk behind your back, one thing happened too. If they going to open their own shop and you don't know what's gonna happen, uh, they tend to copy your barbershop. They tend to hire your barbers. So if you have that trust between each other, you're helping them. They might feel like, I shouldn't do this with my boss. He's been so great, so great with me. So
Yes.
that's a great way to think, right?
Yes, and then you guys can, prepare to hire barbers, to train barbers. You can work together, and of course have a kind of, okay, you want to open your shop, so please don't open next door or across the street. Open a few miles from here. I will support you, and I need to start preparing myself to replace you, so we need to train a new barber to join the team that it's going to be occupying your chair. But then it's an open conversation. It's not that one day he come and say, hey, I'm not coming tomorrow because I'm opening my own shop, and by the way, these guy John and Charlie are going with me.
And then you're like, what?
What? And they're all leaving. So that's not nice. It actually happened to us a few times that other barber shops recruited our barbers in our, let's say, bag. And it was, I think, our mistake in the sense that these barbers that were recruited, they were afraid to tell us. And then it comes to our leadership that we should have an open conversation where they could feel free to come and say, hey, Tico, I received this proposal and it seems really good. They're offering more money. What can you do about it? And then we would
Or
have
what do you
an
think? Right?
open conversation. But then they didn't. They didn't come to us and talk.
But I believe it was
Our
our
responsibility
responsibility as well.
as a leader. So don't make this mistake, because it will cost you losing people, will cost you a lot of stress and energy,
Not
and
only
losing
lose a barber,
clients.
you lose clients, you lose other barbers if they bring, you lose maybe a friend. You know,
Yeah.
if you had a long
Good
time
relationship.
relationship with that person, then you lose a friend because of something very,
Yeah.
everything that we're saying here, all those six topics that we were discussing here is
Mm-hmm.
because of that, right?
Because it happened to
It happened to
us,
us and we want to share.
and we learned, and we're doing things differently now. And then if you do things differently, you get different results. If we keep doing the same way, the results will always be the same. And we're not happy with the results we're getting. So we decided, you know what? What it's in our control. people leaving, uh, a portion of it is not in my control, but how I treat them, how I feel, how I make them feel while they're here so they do not want to leave, that's in my control. That
And
I can change.
every time someone leave, you need to find why they're
Yes.
leaving, because
Yes.
you can fix it. So the next one that comes is not gonna leave because of the same
The
thing. They
same.
might leave for because
A
of
different
other
reason.
stuff. Yeah, but you need to find out. That's happened with us many times.
Yeah, it's important to ask. Most of the time, people won't be sincere as they should because they're afraid of your reaction, of how you're going to receive that. But we always ask them, hey, please be honest with me why you're leaving. I want to understand. Should I there's something I could have done better that will prevent you from leaving? What reasons you have for leaving? I really want to understand our mistakes, what we could do better. Not because we in that if the person is leaving and there's not much you can do because they're leaving anyways, but learn from your mistakes. What it wasn't working that made that person leave, and then you can improve as a business owner, as a leader, improve your team, and then you won't happen again if you learn from your mistakes.
Yes, what I have to say to you is self development, self awareness, self see what you need to who you need to become to provide a better experience to your barbers, who you need to become to achieve your dreams, who you need to become to learn how to hire the right people, understand the coaches that you want to create, where you want to go. That's you need to understand first before you hire anybody, right? You agree?
For sure. You have to know where you're going. So how are you gonna lead people to go to a place you don't know where it is? Like
If you
where
don't
we're
have the
going,
GPS.
I don't know. We're just going. You gotta know where you're going to bring
S-
people on board.
Yes. So, guys, I hope you guys like it, this whole thing, because this was based on our experiences. This is not something that we really went through all this and all the overthink, all the things that we had to do. Now, it's right there in the palm of your hands. Write it down, apply, and don't make the same mistake. I hope you guys like it. If you do have any barber that you know, share this video with them. Give it a like, comment here. Let me know what do you like, what insights you took. If this is helping you, please give it a comment here. And this podcast is sponsored by Invictus Podcast Studio. Follow me on Instagram, Tik Invictus. And the more you learn, the more you earn. Let's see you on the next time.